Right, so we captured C. Right, let's go. Let's get into the mosh pit of B. Let's go down this ladder. Whoa! What? Wait, what the? Oh my god! Help! What the? Oh my god! I actually can't move. Help! Oh fuck! Hey guys, Fikod here. Welcome to today's video. It's a bit odd because it's not Destiny. This game is For Honor, if you hadn't read the title. This is one of Ubisoft's latest titles coming out this month. I mean, Ubisoft have been really rocking it this year so far with the Wildlands beta and For Honor, and also announcing Rainbow Six Siege DLC. Ubisoft might be owning the game scene this year. But as you can see, I'm going to be playing some gameplay clips, giving my impressions of the game so far, adding a bit of live com, maybe talking about the gameplay on screen. So before we begin, I'm going to give some facts about the game. This game, I remember, was announced at E3 with some gameplay, and everyone went crazy. It kind of came out of nowhere. But on the beta, there are 9 heroes and 3 maps. Each map has 5 different variations, but at launch, there'll be 12 heroes, and there'll be 12 maps with 5 variations. So that is a huge amount of content straight away. That's more than a lot of AAA titles. No, this is a AAA title, but like, you know what I mean. I'm calling out COD and Battlefield. And the game's coming out on Valentine's Day this month, and it looks really impressive. I'd play the beta before we decide to pick it up. You know, it is quite a niche game. But anyway, let's jump into the gameplay. So we'll start off with some Viking gameplay. As you can see, this game is so graphically incredible. It's really top of the range graphics. It's really cool. To give you a kind of idea of the game, it's kind of like a MOBA, I guess. It's not really, but it's kind of like a console equivalent. You've got 9 heroes, you got 3 samurais, 3 knights, and 3 vikings. And I'm not going to go into really in-depth detail on this game because obviously I'm only doing one video on it. It's not going to be like a series or anything. And it features you as playing as a hero. You can pick any hero no matter what faction you pick at the start. As you can see, that's a... Ooh, that is brutal. Just broke his neck right there. But as you can see, these are minions. There are like 8 players. The 4v4 is the biggest you can have. As you can see, I'm fighting an AI here, and there's little sort of smaller guys around. They're AI. You can farm them for XP to get the abilities. You see the bottom left, there's loads of stuff padlocked. I'll start. Oh, broken at the neck. So you'll see that I'll start farming these little guys later on in the gameplay. And as you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this, but the combat system in this game is incredible. It is on a par with, in my opinion, the Batman games, because not just single player. This is a multiplayer game. Like, there is single player, and the single player does actually look really good. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the multiplayer, to have a combat system so fluid, but also work so well with AI and with actual other players, it's just incredible. If you see, I'll start farming AIs here. That'll load up the bar at the bottom left, kind of like Supers and Destiny. I am a Destiny channel, so I make some comparisons. So if you just watch the actual fighting system is so fluid, and I know this is against AI, but you will see some clips where it's just incredible. And I'm fighting other players. Like, here we go. Here's a fight. So as you can see, the fighting is very good, but my only flaw with it really is that running away is quite easy, and as you can see that there's like ways to defend against shots. So I defended one of his blows there and retaliated. There's some fundamental flaws with the combat system. As you can see, I'm doing it right now. I'm just running away, they can't really catch me. And another flaw is that if it's ever a 2-on-1, it's basically a guaranteed win for you. It's very hard to lose, to win rather, a 2-on-1. Like, this guy's just getting battered in the corner. Okay, we'll move on to some Knight gameplay now. Knight seems to be the least played class, but one thing I really like, you might have seen there, is the cutscenes you get at the beginning and the end of every single match. It's just a really nice touch. It basically, you get a cutscene with the little minions yelling, and then it sort of goes into you running into the battlefield with them, and I just really like that as a touch. And as you can see from the gameplay here, the B flag, the way the B flag works, is it's basically a mosh pit of all the little enemies. I'm just going to keep calling them little AI guys. And they just fight on, and the way for you to capture B is that the human players have to wipe out all of the opposing team's AI, and then you take over B, and the more flags you have, you will get a team to breaking point, where you just have to wipe out the team. It turns into elimination when you fill up those bars at the top right. Well, one thing I have to say, I don't really like the UI too much on this game. I think for such a beautiful looking game, you know, coming from Destiny as well, it has the UI is very cluttered. I think it's very confusing for a new player as well. As you can see here, I just jumped off. I got away from that guy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not the best at this game. I mean, I did have a game where I went like 14 for 2, but I didn't record it, which is really annoying. But it's very fluid. There are some problems you face. I'll show a screenshot now. You get shit like this, like matchmaking errors and constantly lagging out the game, because the game doesn't have dedicated servers, and it's like peer-to-peer, which I don't know why people are still using that these days with the technology we have. It really does screw up some games. Sometimes you can actually be in a fight, the game pauses and negotiates a new host, and that is just the worst thing in the world. It's just it ruins the game. Is so fluid, and so the combat system is so fluid. It does really stunt the game. And as you can see here, look at this. Ooh, I love the brutality of this game. Is really something. So as you can see, I've just leveled up at the bottom. Now when I kill minions, I will be able to heal myself. But as you can see, again, like 2-on-1, you just immediately die every time. So now you'll see we're capturing the B flag. We're killing all these little minions, and as we wipe them out, it will begin to capture the B flag. So they're retreating. You should see it's gone white, and now it's coming. It's coming. We've captured B, which is 100 points. And now you'll see at the top right, it's now feeding ourselves. But it can't if you play Battlefield like Conquest or anything like that. Now there are other game modes in this game. There are multiple 4v4 games. There's like a team deathmatch game mode. There's this kind of domination game mode like Capture the Flag. There's also a 1v1 game mode, a 2v2 game mode, an elimination game mode. So there are a bunch of game modes in this game, and they work really well, surprisingly. I think with this beta, there's obviously a lot of people that may not actually invest in this game playing. I think the more hardcore of players that will purchase this game, play it a long time, the way people play will change. I think the way people are playing right now, they're trying to play it like any other sort of team deathmatch where you're running in, killing and dying. I think there's easier to go positive in this game than it is in most games, as in KD wise. I also think when the game comes out, a lot of these connection problems will be gone. A lot of these player population issues. There's so many games where you join like halfway through a game, or you join and there's only like 2 people in the lobby and the rest AI. I think that'll iron out as the Ubisoft or the developer developing this game, you know, figure out their player population and can actually mold it properly. Remember, in a beta, there's probably going to be a lot more players playing right now, because it's only out for a weekend, than there will be from the majority of when For Honor's out, or maybe not, depending on how well the game does. So my overall impressions of this game is fucking incredible. It is an advancement in technology. It just shows how far video games have come. We've no longer just got good combat systems in single player games. The good combat is now in multiplayer. You know, Chivalry Medieval Warfare is a game I will compare this to. It is miles better than that. The combat in that is so bland. There's no like real sort of fluidity to it. But this, I mean, it's incredible. As you can see, look, the way the players react. I mean, this guy's just got a revenge, which is when you dodge a certain amount of hits. When you defend from a certain amount of shots, you get a revenge. It's basically like a super in Destiny. And you'll see now, we did finish him off because there was 3 of us taking him on. But this game is just incredible. Graphically, it's incredible. Gameplay, it's incredible. And the campaign looks amazing in this game as well. You know, imagine this combat system in a single player with this level of graphical fidelity. It's going to be very good. And I may pick this game up. May not pick it up at launch because I'm going to get Wildlands at launch. But I may just pick this up, you know, a couple of months after launch. The faction system in it does actually follow an overarching multiplayer mode. And it's similar to Operations in Battlefield, although not really. It's a kind of same concept. Similar to maybe in Titanfall, the original, when you played multiplayer games in a row. It's kind of putting a sort of... And kind of the seasons in Overwatch, actually. It's putting more of an emphasis on what you're fighting for, the faction wars. It really does make you feel a bit more involved. There is a world map that you're on, and you can contribute to the territories your faction will own, the faction you pick at the start of the game. So Viking, Samurai, or Knight. Knight is definitely the least cool and it's the least played, and that, I think their territory is just really far in the left-hand corner at the moment. But I think a season is 10 weeks, and I think it's every 24 hours you get to like make a turn, which is when you can influence the battlefield slightly, and every game you play influences this battlefield as well, so you will see which faction is more dominant. And I think I hope there's a feature that after every season you could possibly change faction, because otherwise every single month we're just going to see the same faction dominate because it will have the better players. So I mean, Viking at the moment is very much just a bit of a stale. They're not really being swayed backwards or forwards. Samurai, being the most played, is just really far into the Knights territory, and the Knights have just been pushed all the way back. And to be honest, I think Knights are the least played faction and classes in the game. So yeah, I didn't want to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to show you some gameplay, give you my thoughts. I'm not going to sway you into buy it, but I would definitely play the beta if you're interested. The combat system is amazing. If you're a Destiny fan, I can't guarantee you'll like it, but if you like video games, I think you'll like this game because it's fucking incredible, both technically and just playing it and graphically. It's brilliant. I'm just going to close this video out with this, just a highlight of exactly what this game is about.